Wolf River, and Pete and Joe are able to get on the ice and float down the river.
I'm just glad to hear that they're not real people. You had me nervous there for a second. I mean, look, there's people in Wisconsin. You know them. You're probably related to them. Maybe it's you that are diehards about going on the ice and ice fishing. When we're driving back and forth between my in-laws and our place, and we pass Upper and Lower Namabin there on 94.
Yeah, there's people out there.
You can still see open water underneath the overpass, and yet you look in the distance and there's people out there on the ice. We were actually just over the weekend.
Maybe it's Pete and Joe. I don't know.
No, this is people that are actually moving around on the ice, and I look at it and I think, you're insane. What are you doing?
It's Bob and Jim.
So our son Brayson, his buddy Kodo, who we actually met over the weekend, he is someone that is really into ice fishing. He's from Duluth, Minnesota, and he was telling us a story about how he was on Lake Superior. And he said the ice was super, super, super thick.
Yeah.
They were out there ice fishing. I mean, he ice fishes all the time. And he's telling us a story that he's looking off in the distance and people have trucks on the ice, snowmobiles on the ice, all this weight.
Yeah.
And then he said that he and his buddy just had this feeling of like, you know what? We've been out here long enough. We should maybe get off the ice. As they're moving off the ice, he described this as hearing like a loud boom. As if it's thunder. It was boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, the ice split.
Oh, my God.
They were already on the part of the ice that was closest to shore. But all of those people
with their trucks
that were on that ice were now not in the water, but floating on almost like an iceberg, a block of ice. So I'm asking Kodo, what happens next? What do you do? Well, you have to call in the Coast Guard. You have to call in people to say
get off of there.
Here's the other thing I learned, and maybe you all know this if you ice fish. If that happens to you and you have to be rescued, you have to leave everything there. So you're not bringing your expensive fishing equipment.
Your shanty.
You're not bringing anything.
Yeah.
And then you also get a littering fine because you had to leave those things out there that have to then be recovered.
No.
I think about that.
One time.
So Pete and Joe,
they're in a boat.
At least they're in a boat, so they're going to float, and someone's going to get them back.
Yeah. And the records go all the way back to like the 1850s on the Wolf River in New London with these celebrations. And again, usually the Wolf River breaks up the ice and everything moves out around St. Patty's Day. A few years ago, it happened on February 9th. We had a lot of warm weather, and the ice said, all right, we're moving out. And Pete and Joe were gone before the celebration. But no, according to those in New London, they're still hanging out. They're still there.
What a fun tradition.
It is. It's Pete and Joe. We need to have that in Milwaukee. Put somebody on the Milwaukee River. Does that freeze?
I don't know if it does completely. I mean,
Mendota, does that freeze anything?
Those river. I mean, if there's a big current there and they're moving quite a bit, I don't know that they would. And look, doesn't the DNR tell you that no ice is ever guaranteed to be safe?
Oh, Pete and Joe are doing all right in that boat.
Well, because they're in a boat. Coming up, we're going to get to text roulette. We've got a text that came through from a mixer that needs help with a friendship that they've had for over 20 years. Okay. Will the friendship still stand the test of time? Well, there's been a big change that's happened, and they're not really sure if it's time to cut that friendship and end it. We've got the whole story with text roulette coming up here next on The Mix. Help out this mixer with a 20-year friendship. Friends since they were childhood, but now something has gotten between the two of them. And the mixer is debating what should they do with this big life change. It's Text Roulette with Elizabeth and Radar, and the message says, what advice do you have for this? I need help with a friendship. I have a childhood best friend of 20 plus years that I'm having hard emotions about. They got married to their boyfriend of a year and a half last week. And it's a relationship that I don't like / find it hard to be supportive of. I feel like my relationship with my best friend is strained because of their partner, as he liked me before he started talking to her after.
Oh, boy.
My friend has changed a lot within the time that they've been together, and I hardly have time with them anymore or feel like a priority in their life as a best friend. I don't know if I should fake and try to feel happy for them and realize that that's just how it is now. And they're having a new life with their now husband. Or is it okay to feel hurt / cast away / worried? Look, I think to care about your friend and struggle with their partner and the changes all at the same time, like all those emotions can coexist together.
But childhood friend of 20 years?
Yeah, but now they've found somebody else. And so they're feeling a little like, guess I'm not in your life anymore.
Yeah.
And those emotions are hard.
Sure.
I remember when my best friend Andrea, when she first started having kids, and she had her oldest Eli, and of course we all were like overjoyed, over the moon. I mean, still like just one of the sweetest, best guys out there, like great kid, right?
Yeah.
So when she had Eli, and this has been my best friend since 3rd grade, I remember feeling a little hint of, oh my gosh, she has this new special, amazing person in her life that she loves and adores.
Doesn't have room for me.
And I had this little moment of like, I didn't have a little baby, so I couldn't relate. I felt a little left out. Not that that was the intention at all, but I do remember having feelings of like I was losing her. And it was so short-lived because the second I saw little Eli and I just, picked him up and looked at him and kissed his little face, it's like, oh my gosh, I could not be more happy for my friend. But again, all those feelings can happen. And you here, Mixer, I'm telling you right now, you aren't going to be the priority in this person's life right now. They do have a new person in their life. But that's not to say that your relationship's going to end. It's just going to change. You've got to find those moments of when you can do things that are just the two of you, or make it a priority to just make sure that you get something on the calendar. Hey, I want to make sure that we're celebrating our birthdays every year. But if you don't like the significant other, you don't have to hang out with the significant other and the friend.
But there's some history with the significant other.
A little bit.
Right?
That he had feelings for her. He had the little crushing.
And
now he's married to the friend.
So maybe there's a little bit of, maybe you need to kind of give some space and just be with the friend and not have him included.
Yeah, I don't think you have to include him.
Yeah, especially because of the past.
There
was some feelings there, and you're like,
your relationship with your friend is separate from the relationship with the husband. There's no rule that says, well, if I'm best friends with you, I have to be best friends with your husband.
Even though we had feelings for each other before.
That doesn't have to happen.
No, because that.
But this is grief. This is life transition grief. This is what happens when these changes go on and maybe someone moves away. Or again, like I was saying, my best friend, when she had her baby, she and her husband, I remember feeling like, guess I'm out of the picture, which
I'm done.
Isn't a forever thing. Mean, in that moment, your friend has to be, they're newlyweds.
So Mixers, what do you think? What would you do in this situation? Have you been in this situation before?
So the little recap here is a Mixer sent in a text that their childhood best friend of over 20 years just got married. And the Mixer said here, I'm having hard emotions about this. They're not really a fan of the new husband, but they also feel like now they're playing second fiddle. And so their questions they're asking, is it okay to feel hurt, cast away, and worried? Yes. Those emotions of grief, that is normal to feel that. And but also recognize that your friend is experiencing a major life change as well.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
You might have to be the one to maybe make the effort at the beginning to say, let's get together. Let's put something on the calendar. I want to hang out with you, just you. You don't have to hang out with the husband.
Has anybody been in this situation before? You can help out and say, oh yeah, you know what? This is what I did. It worked out a lot better by doing this because you've been through it and things worked out okay. Or maybe you tried to stay away and you did, and then you lost contact with your friend, and you want to warn people, hey, don't do what I did. That's what we're always looking for from the mixers at 414-432-1099. Text roulette. This is a tough one, though.
Well, and I want the mixer to feel very seen, that a lot of people can relate to what it's like when your best friend has started a new phase of their life and you wonder, where do you fit in?
We got some texts coming in on the Siding Unlimited text line. We'll share those next on The Mix.
Like they've got married and you're wondering, well, where do I fit in their life anymore? Because a mixer sent that into text roulette that the best friend of over 20 years is now married. They're not really a fan of the husband, they said.
Little history there.
A little bit that he liked her first, and this was a while ago. And so she's just asking, is it normal to feel cast away and hurt and worried about the friendship? And actually, we're all saying that is normal. It's normal to feel that way.
Sure.
But we've got Stephanie with an F calling into the show this morning with text roulette. Hey, Stephanie, it's Elizabeth and Radar on the Mix. So what do you want to say for this mixer?
Well, I agree with you guys. Yeah, it's 100%. Like, we go through life changes and we change relationships throughout our lifetime. And our marriage, our husband and wife, they become our best friend. And you have to understand that and accept that. And they can still be a part of your life. They can absolutely still be a part of your life. But my wife is my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, and I have two best friends still. And don't talk a lot. My one best friend, I have a male best friend, and then I have a female best friend. I talk more to my female best friend, but we don't see each other a ton, and that's okay.
Did you
because
talk
we
a
still
lot
have each other.
before the
was that?
relationship? Did you talk a lot before in the past? Obviously.
I think my male best friend I did. I
Okay.
like hung out with him a lot, but we also like it was also changed our relationship because he had kids. Now he has 2 kids, and they're both pretty young. I have a 10-year-old son, so like, yeah, your relationships just changed throughout
Yeah.
life. But it sounds like with this mixer, they said they've been friends for what 20 some years.
Yeah.
20 plus.
And they
Yeah.
were childhood friends, so they could still be in their 20s. They could still be almost 30. I think you learn that as you get even older. Like when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're like, man, I still want my friends around. But then once you hit like 40, you're like, no, this is my life. Like with my wife and my husband, whatever it is, and that's your best friend. And you kind of learn that as you get older.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of grief there because what was isn't going to be anymore, and
Yeah.
there is a new family dynamic that's created. They're newlyweds. They're probably all into each other, and like you said, their spouse is their best friend. But it's also okay to recognize you can have different best friends for different things. You know what I mean? Like my husband's absolutely my best friend in a lot of ways, but then there's moments where I'll go to my best friend Katie if I know okay, Katie's going to give me the advice that I need on this situation, or best friend Andrea that I've had since grade school. Like we all have these different pockets. You've got, a best friend at work. Like we have those different groupings. It doesn't mean that you're being replaced. It just means that your relationship and friendship is changing.
You go to the friend because, like my wife Jess will say to me, I start talking and then you kind of zone out and you wander off. And I go, because your story got long. Just get to the point. I'll help you with that.
Because sometimes our spouses are like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
If you have a video doorbell and you check it in the morning, did you ever find something you definitely weren't suspecting? Because wait till you hear what was on my Ring doorbell. This morning I checked it. And then I also went to Facebook because other people saw this as well. It's not a coyote. Don't be saying, oh, yeah, the coyotes. Everybody's always posting that. No. This is something totally different.
It was something bad.
We'll tell you. I'm a little concerned about it. We'll tell you about it coming up. I'm concerned. Big
All
time.
right, if you're in West Dallas, check your Ring cameras. It's Elizabeth and Radar on the mix.